Let's bring in attorney Gloria Allred for that. Gloria, of course, has made this one of the causes of her life and has been a crusader on this front for decades. She's been open about her own experience pre-Roe v. Wade, her own experiences with abortion, and she joins us now. Gloria, first off, your reaction to what is happening in Texas, especially as somebody who's fought on this for so long.
Well, Alex, this abortion law or abortion ban that has been passed into law is not only an extreme ban, prohibition on abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy, if there is a detection of a fetal heartbeat. But in addition to that, it is dangerous. It is very dangerous to women. It is dangerous to women of color. It is dangerous to rural women and young women because they will not be able to go to another state like California where it is legal to have an abortion. And that is what is so bad, because that means they are going to be forced to take pregnancies to term and deliver when they do not choose to do that.
And that, of course, begs the question about Roe v. Wade. It is the law of the land, or is this? Does this lead to the end of Roe v. Wade?
Well, exactly. You know, it basically, Roe v. Wade is a dead letter in Texas. But action is going to be taken, as you indicated. There are going to be rallies throughout the country. And today, just actually a few hours ago, a Texas court, not the United States Supreme Court, which decided not to hear the case, not to grant an injunction pending the case being heard, but a state court decided a case brought by Planned Parenthood against Texas Right to Life, because any stranger, any entity like Texas Right to Life could decide that they are going to sue Planned Parenthood, clinic workers, anyone who aids or abets an abortion after 6 weeks. And that is wrong. And I'm so glad that a state court, at least as to that part of the law, stops it from happening. I mean, even somebody who is an Uber or Lyft driver who assists and drives a woman to a clinic or to any other abortion provider, that person could be sued by a stranger or something like Texas Right to Life.
And the person who
just
turns them in could get $10,000.
To get an abortion.
And the person who turns them in then could get $10,000.
Yes, and the remedy would be $10,000 to any stranger or entity that sued who was successful in that suit, plus attorney's fees. Now, that means nobody's going to help, or very few people would help. They couldn't afford even to hire an attorney to defend themselves. I might add that apparently there is breaking news this afternoon that some of the Lyft companies who drive, or Uber or Lyft, one of them or both, are now volunteering to pay attorney's fees for anyone who does get sued. So that's a really important and new development.
Gloria, you joined us live literally moments after we got the news about Ruth Bader Ginsburg's passing last year. And then we had that very quick process to get Amy Coney Barrett on the court, deciding vote in this case. Just on an emotional level, as somebody who so revered RBG, what's going through your mind right now in terms of what the court is doing?
I mean, this is such a disgrace. Essentially, it was a stolen seat to fill the Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Justice Ginsburg's seat with someone who we all knew clearly was anti-choice. Trump said he was only going to appoint justices to any vacancy on the Supreme Court, or nominate them, I should say. And of course, anybody who nominated would be confirmed by the Republican-dominated U.S. Senate, as Amy Coney Barrett was. And so all of the three justices that he appointed are anti-choice, and we're in the majority deciding not to stop this Texas ban on abortion. So Justice Ginsburg, I have no doubt, would be horrified, would be dismayed, would have voted to stop, well, at least to enjoin, that is,
Right.
not allow the Texas ban to go into effect until the full court could decide it.
Right.
Right.
The
It
vote
would
was
have been
5-4. And so, against doing anything about this ban, it would have been 5-4.
the other way. The other way.
Start,
Right. Right.
to stop the ban, I have no doubt.
All right, Gloria,
if
we want you to
Justice
stay
Ginsburg
with us for our next story, which is another topic that you know a lot about, which is recall politics.
So new criticism for GOP gubernatorial candidate Larry Elder.
Will voters in California rethink about Larry Elder for governor after comments he made about sexual harassment claims he made years ago?
To KBC, the number. I want to hear from men who've been accused of sexual harassment in the workforce. I've given you an example of when I've been accused of it 2 times. The first time, and the other one I just now thought of the other day, about this woman who tried to break the contract not to compete and then accused me of hitting on her. That's how she put it. If you had seen her, you would know that the picture would be a complete defense. I'm just saying.
That was from 2011, the audio clip uncovered by CNN. Elder revealing then during a radio show that he had twice been accused of sexual harassment. He's denied those allegations. Meanwhile, I spoke to Larry Elder earlier today about other issues, including his plan to end California's vaccine and mask mandates. Take a listen.
I would not have had those kinds of mandates the way he did. I'm not anti-vax, for crying out loud, despite what one of the ads said. I've been vaccinated. Because of my age, I'm in a higher risk category. I'm not anti-vax. What I am is anti-assuming people are too stupid to make their own decisions. There are a lot of people who feel for all sorts of...
What do you make of Larry Elder and his candidacy?
Well, I always had a cordial relationship with Larry Elder for the many years that I was in KABC radio, and even after that, after my 14 years there as a radio talk show host, I, continued to have a cordial relationship with him. Of course, he called me Super Glow, and he called himself the Sage from South Central. However, we were opposed on almost every issue, not every issue. And I am very concerned about statements that he has made over the years about maternity leave for women, that he's not in favor of that. Some statements he's made about sexual harassment, some statements he's made about minimum wage and not being in support of it, and many other statements. So I cannot support his becoming governor of this great state of California. And I do support Governor Newsom. So Larry is a really good entertainer, a good debater. I give him all credit for that.
Well,
but his policies, I believe, if implemented for the state of California, would be disastrous and would turn back the clock. And we cannot afford that.
Well, recently he brought you up multiple times. He was interviewed by the LA Times, and they were asking him about Stephen Miller, of course, part of the Trump administration formerly. And he said, well, why aren't you asking me about Gloria Allred instead? We have that clip.
I said, I don't just mean Gloria Allred as a person. Gloria Allred was a guest numerous times on my radio show. Why do you focus on Stephen Miller and not on Gloria Allred is my question.
Well, we've talked to Gloria Allred, we've talked to Dennis Prager. I just wanted to ask you about Stephen Miller because, again, he's a figure of interest in our both in our community and nationally. But if you don't...
Yet another reminder that there is not a story that Gloria Allred is not at the center of.
Super glow. Super glow. I like that.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah. And so, it's interesting. I'm hoping that everyone will just put no on the recall and not check anything else. And it's important that everybody vote. Everybody matters. Everybody is going to be affected by whomever is going to be governor of California. And so don't let other people decide that. Cast your vote, and then you get a choice in who's going to be the next governor of California.
Yeah,